Good morning. It's another Monday morning, and it's nice and sunny here in South Florida, and I'm so thankful to be here. We have about another minute or so before I get started with our inspirational vitamin for the week. And as we wait for a few of you to tune in and to kind of get your coffee and get settled in for your word for the week, I just wanted to ask you, as I always do, and Mondays, how was your week? Last week for me was sort of a roller coaster week, but I prevailed. And you may have one of those weeks as well. But we are here this morning, and I'm so happy that you took the time to tune in for our inspirational word for the week. It's a great day, believe it or not. It is right around almost the end of June, and that's exciting. At the same time, it's kind of scary because when you think about it, it was just a few months back we were saying that it was January, and now here we are just about halfway through the year, and time does fly. It's not just a cliche as we always use the term, but it certainly is going by very quickly. I'm glad you stopped by this morning. I want to say good morning and welcome to Inspirational Vitamins, your word for your week. This week, the word is meekness, the fact or condition of submissiveness. But before I get to that, I just wanted to mention that this is our 26th week of broadcasting to you live and Facebook every Monday morning at 10 a.m. And I'm so glad for those of you who have been tuning in every Monday, and continue to do that and continue to share this with your friends and with your those you connect with and social media, because I do believe that one person can touch 10 others. So certainly I do rely on you to do that as well. And in the next couple of weeks, maybe about 2 weeks from now, I have an announcement. So I want for you to stay tuned for that, because we are moving into the next half of the year, starting next week, actually. We're halfway through the year at 26 weeks, and we're looking forward for the other half as well, for some great word for your week. For your week, as far as the word that we normally use on Monday. So this week the word is meekness. That is the word for your week this week. And I want to begin this morning a little different with something that from the Bible. I want to use a verse here that maybe some of you who are connected that way can relate to it. Some may not, but that's okay. You may learn something new today. The verse is from Matthew chapter 5, verse 5, and it said this: "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." I want to give you a little context to that verse. This was one of the series of blessings that Jesus had declared at the Sermon on the Mount to his disciples. Each blessing offers a future reward for a person possessing a certain character quality. It is often referred to, for those of you who are familiar with the term, the Beatitudes, which comes from the Latin word beatitudo, which actually means blessedness. Some of you might be saying this morning to yourself, how can I be humble? How can I be meek? Because the word this week is meekness, and which we can also use the word humble. How can I be humble in this climate when I'm out of a job, when my business is suffering, when my 401k is depleting, when there is instability in my home and uncertainty of the future is sketchy? How can I be humble? How can I be meek during this time? More often than not, it would seem the best way when you're dealing with certain things that you're maybe overwhelmed with is to vent, to shout, to get it out of your system. And all that you're experiencing sometimes kind of boiled up, and you want to just let it out whenever you get a moment to do that. But there's something about expressing meekness in a toxic environment. That is why it's important to focus on humility, meekness, despite of our adversity. You see, if we focus on the things that plague us oftentimes, we react to it. We don't respond to it. We react to it. But if we focus on the thing that can pull us above where we are, oftentimes we'll have victory and we will triumph. This morning, as we focus on the word meekness, humility never exalts itself. Think about that. Humility never exalts itself. I believe it was Franklin Graham who once said, the preoccupation with self is the enemy of humility. I want to repeat that again. It's a quote from him. He said that the preoccupation with self is the enemy of humility. If we absorb in the things that we so much want to do sometimes that are plaguing us, what happened to us sometimes, we don't express any humility. We get frustrated. We get sometimes even to the point where we don't want to associate ourselves with anyone. But could this week be different for you? Could this week be a week that you pause, step back, and start to reflect, and perhaps maybe in certain instances, I don't have to react to those things. I often mention in previous recording that when we are faced with a challenge, when we are faced with adversity, when we get it wrong is when we react to it. When we get it right is when we respond to it. This week could be the week that you get it right by expressing and also exhibiting humility, meekness. You see, it's hard sometimes when someone done you wrong. It's difficult when you are dealing with a crisis moment and you're not getting answers. It is challenging for you not to do the thing that you feel led to do at the moment. But more often than not, if you stop, think, listen, and then respond, you're able to overcome the adversities that you face. So this week, in your to-do, in your encounter, wherever that may be and whenever that may be, remember, this is a week that you're going to embrace meekness. You're going to stop before you act, and you're going to respond accordingly. Do me a favor, as always, share this with your friends and with your family, your loved ones, and those that you are connected with on social media. And by the way, just a footnote here, leave me any comments if you're enjoying these words and you have been looking forward to them on Mondays. Leave me a comment in my Facebook comments, and I look forward to talking to you next week. Same time, same place for your word for your week. Until then, have a very good week.